Welcome back to BarrelNGrain. Tonight we got something special for you. Tonight we have Calumet Farms. We're going to do a blind of 4 different glasses. So tonight we have for us the 15 8-year-old small batch, the 14, the 15, and the highly coveted 16 that was just released this year. You've probably seen a lot of videos, a lot of people talking about it. Really good stuff. But tonight we're going to find out the 15 year still holds up to be my favorite. I'm going to blind them. It's really the only way to find out. I had someone come down and do the pours, and I have these answers all in here, so we're about to find out. But to give you a little history on the Calumet Farms and the bourbon, Calumet Farms was done by William Wright back in 1924. He was an entrepreneur that actually started with Calumet baking powder, and that's where he started his business. Later on, he was doing standard bred horses, and then eventually, when his son took over Warren, it went into thoroughbred. You guys have probably heard of horses like Triple Crown winners, such as Whirlaway, Citation, and then this past year, Rich Strike, one of the horses that was not expected to win at all, won the Kentucky Derby. So just to give you guys a heads up, 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% barley is their mash bill. The company that actually distills this for Calumet is the Western Beverage Company, the same company that does Sam Houston. Steve Nally's the master distiller there. Nothing but good things to say about this company. Great stuff. So far, everything I've had is good. Tonight, I'll actually be trying the small batch the first time and the 14 year for the first time. So it'll get to be really interesting how these compare to what I've tried before. So with that being said, let's get started with the blind tonight. As you can see, I have a little water over here. We gotta cleanse the palate a little bit. All right, let's start off the left. Ooh. So right off the bat, I definitely get a little bit of darker cherry. There's a spice to it within this one with the fruit. So I get a lot of heavier rye spice on this one. It actually seems really good. So right out of the gate, a lot of rye. Get a lot of spice right up front. I do get a little bit of the toffee taste in the back, but right out the gate, a lot of rye. Very good legs on this thing. We'll go to the second one. Oh, this is different. This is definitely different than Class 1. This has more of like a softer fruiter note. Way less rye than the first one on the nose. It kind of goes more towards the fruit than the rye spice. Almost a little bit of a molasses smell to it. So I do get a lot of the rye on the taste right out the gate. I want to say the rye kind of lingers around a little bit more in this one than the previous one. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. Class 3. Oh, I get way more molasses on this one. Definitely more molasses. Almost seems like a little bit more of the char smell to it on the barrel. I almost think this is the 16 because I noticed 16 has more of a medicinal smell to it. This has less of the rye spice, more almost of the like a medicinal fruit let's say, to this one. I think that one's actually my favorite so far. Well, off to the last one. I could be totally wrong for all I know. We're about to find out. And on this one, man, all the spices going. This is all leather, toffee, molasses, and I definitely get vanilla on this one. I didn't have. I think actually the last one had a little bit of vanilla, but this one seems to stand out. A lot more vanilla. Yeah, a lot more vanilla on the smell on this one. So the rice spice up front. Seem to get a lot of the toffee, a little bit of the caramel finally in this one in the back. But the proof seems to be definitely in these. I want to say more than this one. I almost feel like that there is probably the small batch. It's 86 proof, the small batch, compared to the other ones being, I believe, 96.2. I think they stay that way. 96. Oh, no, this is 105. This is actually 106. So it does actually go up from the 14 to 15 to 16. Small batch is actually the lowest proof one. I think it's actually, I taste a little bit in that one. This one here actually seems to have most proof feeling to it. I'm try a little bit of water here, cleanse my palate off. Just so you guys know, these three here, the 14, 15, 16, are all batched with 19 barrels. The small batch is actually 50. So it's considered a 50 or less barrels used for this one. Whichever one it is, it's still doing fantastic because they're all really great bourbons. All right, let's go back through it one more time. We'll start claiming our winners. I like the nose on this one. I definitely get more of the medicinal cherry on this time. And it could be because I took water and I cleansed my palate off before I tried it compared to we're trying this the last time as the last one. Definitely more of a medicinal cherry. All right. Back to glass number 3. Oh yeah, that's softer. The finish is definitely not there like the previous one. Still very good. I get a lot more vanilla on this one. And this could be, if the 86, it could be telling me that this maybe a little bit of water helps bring out that note compared to the other one previously. I definitely am getting more cherry on the second round, going back through them. It's kind of odd I didn't get that the first time. All right, glass number 2. I got butterscotch on that time. It's really kind of odd when you kind of go through and you really do a blind, you don't know, and you're just really using your senses to find out what you like. I get the medicinal cherry note again. This time I feel like I get a lot more of like a butterscotch, even on the palate compared to the nose. The nose had it this time around. And maybe now that my nose has kind of gotten used to the proof, my palate's kind of gotten used to it, that I'm starting to get some of the other notes. definitely, I think that one so far is definitely one of my favorites. And back to zero. Number one. The very first one. Let's try it again. A lot more proof on this one. Definitely tell I get more of the spice. I can feel it in my throat. I don't quite get as much of the butterscotch. I definitely get a lot more of the rye to that one. I'll give that one. That one lingers too. The finish is pretty good on this one. So how I'd rank these, number two, I'd put it up there. My first one's number four. The last, definitely not least, will be this one. Whew. All right, we're ready to see who the winner is. It's gonna be really good to see how this goes. My guess, this here is probably 15. I want to say this is probably 14. I want to say that's 16, and this is small batch. So we'll find out. Here we go. Ooh, 16, number two. 14, small batch, and 15. So it looks like actually 14 was my favorite. 16, I'm going to rate it second. And this is the one I just said about that has long finish to it. Third was 15. And last was the small batch. I'll give the small, but you can definitely tell in the color when you haven't compared it side by side. Small batch has everything that the rest have, but it just doesn't have the finish. It kind of dies off there at the end. You can kind of get it where everything else is lingering around for a while. But overall, I guess 15 is not my favorite anymore. I guess it's 14 and 16 and then 15. But it really doesn't matter. These are all great bourbons. I would try any of these. If you would see any of these are all great pickups. Even the small batch, I mean 86 proof, you could drink this for a while, any time of day. But that's it for tonight. So until next time, if you like what I got, please hit the like button. If there's any comments, I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear you guys' tasting notes and what you guys thought of these also. And then if you want to keep seeing my videos, please subscribe, as I'll keep putting out at least 1 to 2 a week. Until then, keep hunting, and I'll see you guys next week.